Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here. This is going to be my Vault of the Incarnates Warlock raid review video. In it, we're going to be covering every boss fight from, I guess, more of a Warlock POV with a general breakdown on each fight, talking about what specs and builds can we get on certain fights, and then just going from there. Now, it's currently 1 a.m. My flight to LA leaves in like 5-6 hours from now. It just got pushed back an hour, so I'm going to record this video before I go. But like I said in the last video, I'm heading out to LA for the Race to World first. I'm casting that again this time, which is awesome for Liquid. This video should be going up, I believe, Sunday, and I might have a few videos coming out over the week, depending on how boss kills go and all that. But there might be a bit of a lapse in content for a week or so until we get back. But with that being said, this should be the video that must be looking for. Now, there's not going to be talent builds on the screen in this video because there's a million different builds for every spec. But if you like talent builds, the website is indeed now up to date, as well as a spreadsheet. It has multiple builds for each spec. There's links to them down below if I remember. If not, they're pretty easy to find. And yeah, with that being said, let's just jump right into it. Eranog is the first boss you'll encounter, and this is going to be, I would assume, mostly a destruction or demonology-based fight. It's a priority cleave fight with the boss starting in the middle of the room. He frequently spawns adds around him, which need to be cleaved down, which is Destro. I'm really Demo's like strong suit, but at the same time, Destro and Af aren't terrible at it. But in phase 2, he spawns on Heroic 1 wave of adds to start from the outside, on Mythic 2 waves, which you have to kill the elemental to break a hole in the wall to run through, or the raid essentially dies from, well, the flame wall. Outside of that, it's pretty much a priority cleave fight, which, you know, Destro Demo profiles. I wouldn't fault you for playing Af. Af with Soul Flame could be okay here, same with Af with ID, but with the tuning that Af currently has, I'm expecting this to be mostly a demonology fight. Probably playing Nether Portal, which is like the Implosion and Torrent Armaments cleave-based build. But at the same time, if those flame walls have a lot of health, I wouldn't be surprised to see Destro with big Havoc cleave, destroying both elementals at once. Terros is going to be the second boss you encounter in Vault of the Incarnates, most likely at least. It is the only pure patchwork single target boss in the raid. So all of the single target builds for Destro, Demo, and Af are, well, playable here. Now, as far as single target damage is concerned, Destro and Demo are certainly ahead of Affliction at this point, but Terros has a lot of movement on the fight if you're a range player. If you're a melee, you can send in melee and just beat grinder the boss down, but range has to do all the mechanics in this fight. So, a lot of movement in this fight, which is why I'm not feeling the Nether Portal Demon Bolt build being the best option here necessarily in single target. It very well could be a Demo build, maybe just not playing Fell Covenant and things, because buff maintenance in this fight, while juggling 18 different mechanics going on, is actually pretty troublesome and problematic. Destro at the same time is not very far behind Demo in single target, and if you're a fan of Af, I mean, it has the best... this feels like an Af fight with all the movement in it, but at the same time, Af single target isn't that good. So I'd probably give a nod to Demo here, followed by Destro, and then Af if you want, but this is the only patchwork single target fight in the raid, so keep that in mind. Sennarth is one of the earlier bosses in the raid, and this is sort of a gimmicky fight, but I think it's personally pretty cool. So the boss spawns in the middle of the room and will essentially climb the room up to the very top, where the boss eventually becomes I guess not attackable, but she's active on the ground and lands in a sense. While you're climbing up the room in the sides here along these stairs, there are adds that are spawning called Caustic Spiderlings, a handful of larger adds which need to be killed off tank by the, well, off tank. And the big thing here is that you're constantly moving pretty much the majority of this fight, whether you're sliding on ice or dodging Caustic Spiderlings. I feel this is going to be a demonology fight, just due to like Demo's profile being pet based and there being a lot of odd just running around randomness with this fight. It's sort of gimmicky. It sort of feels like a fight that Warlock's just not very good at. Destro being like cleave based, okay single target, but pretty immobile. Demo being semi-mobile, but like Portal Demo builds are gonna be awkward in this fight at times. And once again, Af could be good here. Now, this could be a niche, weird sleeper Af fight because the Caustic Spiderlings can chain Wrath of Consumption stacks the entire fight, I believe. And they have a very large hitbox, which means if you tag them, Soul Flame will literally hit the boss when the Caustic Spiderlings die. So this could be an odd Affliction fight in disguise. I can see both Siphon Life, Dread Touch being played here, as well as like AC and other abilities. It's sort of just a weird one. All three Warlock specs aren't incredibly great at dealing with what this fight's doing. I'd lean towards just playing Demo off the bat, but there could be a Destro Af build here somewhere. Primalist Council is an odd one. It is basically a permanent 4-target stack, cleave, melee, meat grinder kind of fight where all 4 bosses are stacked and you just kill them all. So, Demonology, Affliction, get the nod here over Destruction, in my opinion, because Demo and Af can make great use of that permanent 4-target stack cleave. Yes, Destro can do it with Rain of Fire spam and all that, but Destro's not really tuned in a way where it can take great advantage of that profile. Demo and AF currently are. Huge dog cleave, implosions, Fellstorms, Imp Gang Boss, just the insane AoE Demo brings. To a similar extent, Affliction is very good at AoE. Grim Reach, Dark Harvest, Seed Spam, both specs are very strong. Now, the last bit of testing of this boss was done before Demonology got all the buffs. The bug fix, the Fellstorm, Implosion, Imp Gang Boss, all of that. So I feel like I would want to start as Demonology here, but at the same time, AF's AoE profile with Grim Reach and just huge Seed Spam, if you're getting PIs, they're both going to be insane. This is going to be a good Warlock fight. If you're a fan of AF, hey, play it here. One of the few fights you can play it on. If you're a fan of Demo, well, it's good here as well. You can play Destro. I just don't think it does as much as, it doesn't do as much as Demo or AF. But hey, you know, either way, the fight's fun. It's a meat grinder of a fight. Not incredibly complicated mechanically. Blow the bosses up. Have a good time. Dathea is going to be quite the fight on Mythic, and I'm not saying that necessarily in a good way or even a bad way. I'm just not sure where this fight's going to go. So on Mythic, you're tasked with charging up the dormant infuser ads in the ground, and when you charge them up, they spawn. When they die, they knock you back to a shelf which has ads on it. Now, if you're assigned to the shelf group, you want to play a spec that has a bit more AoE to it, like AF with Soul Flame, if possible. But realistically, Demo brings that big AoE profile, while still bringing good single target, Nether Portal, all that. Destro sort of can, but it's not that snap, huge on-demand AoE that Demo and or AF can bring. So I think this fight, personally, is either going to... It's Demo or Destro. And it depends sort of what you're doing. If you're staying on the main platform all the time, they're both good at single target. There's going to be a volatile infuser ad alive for a bit, so you can just sort of cleave that down as Destro, or even just, you know, implode it down as Demo. But if you're going to the platform, Demonology will certainly do more damage with dogs, Fell Strength, Implosion, Cleave, all that, than Destro will. So, depending on what you're looking at doing, it might sway what spec you're playing a little bit, but I'd probably say quite possibly Demo, followed by Destro, and then most likely Affliction here. Kurog Grimtotem is an awesome fight. So there are 4 quadrants in the room called altars, and whenever you drag him to a new altar, he gains frost, fire, earth, I believe lightning abilities. Now every pillar, or I guess altar on Mythic, will spawn an ad, which Destro, good cleave. Demo, good stat cleave. AF's cleave can be okay, but AF's just undertuned. So I think this is one of the prime Destro fights of the tier, but at the same time, Demo can bring a lot of cleave as well with another portal build, with like the cleave elements, with Implosion, Demonic Strength, all that. I wouldn't fault you for playing either. Now, there's a couple of sets of ads, or I guess mechanics that spawn a large amount of ads. I believe it's the Fire Pillar and the Earth Pillar, which Demo can take pretty good advantage of. Probably a little more than AF, and certainly more than Destro, unless you're playing Infernal at that point in time. But Destro dealt a large amount of damage onto both Kurog and the ad, which the ad needs to die pretty quickly. So, depending what damage profile you're looking for, this could be a Demo fight, could be a pretty good Destro fight. I probably wouldn't recommend AF here, just because, once again, AF's undertuned. But it has a really strong Destro profile. I enjoyed it in testing. I'm probably going to start with Destro here and just see where it goes. Broodkeeper Diurna is going to be a very interesting fight as well, because you're essentially splitting the raid into 2 groups. The first group's going to be handling the ads that spawn on the left and right sides of the room, and a smaller portion of the raid is going to be following the boss around, doing the great staff of the Broodkeeper mechanic, breaking eggs, and dealing with all of that. Now, I'll say off the bat, I have a weird theory here that this could even be a decent Affliction fight, because play Absolute Corruption. Blow the ads up, play Grim Reach, play Dark Harvest, all that, kill the ads, bring that AoE profile, but throw Absolute Corruption on the boss. Because the boss takes damage from AC on the other side of the room. The lower the boss is when you enter phase 2, which is sort of an enrage, the less you have to deal. You can probably roll permanent Wrath of Consumption stacks here as Affliction. Soul Flame's good. Grim Reach, Dark Harvest, Seed Spam is very good here as well. This fight could quite possibly be an AF fight in disguise, but at the same time, Demo's damage profile, just stat cleave, dogs, Implosion, Demonic Strength, Nether Portal bringing that good prio damage on the boss later on in the fight, while also having that good cleave in phase 1 on the ads. It's also very, very strong. We got to see where it goes. I don't think Destro is incredibly strong in this fight. It's fine, but Demo and even AF's damage profiles, if they're tailored to certain settings, just excel more here. Destro has, like, it's okay at everything, but if you have the option of playing Kata CDF versus, you know, Implosion, Demonic Strength, huge Imp Gang Boss cleave, or just massive perma dot cleave, I think Demo and AF probably get the nod here over Destro. So when it comes to Raszageth, this is the one fight that was never tested on alpha or beta, However, reading through the journal, it seems to have a mix of both like single target prio cleave and AoE cleave, with a lot of ad spawning in the intermission. So I'd start with like the general like just AoE hybrid build of Destro, see where it goes. Demo, Nether Portal, just Implosion, Monk Cleave, like the hybrid build. And for Affliction, if you're playing it, probably just like the single target hybrid build with Sow the Seeds and stuff like that with Soul Flame. We really gotta see the fight to see where it goes. But probably a better Demo fight, just looking at how it is, because Demo brings that big single target profile as well as just big cleave. It doesn't seem like a terrible Destro fight either, but I think just reading over it with a mix of heavy ag cleave and prio single target, Demo Nether Portal probably gets the nod here over both Destro and AF. So yeah, that should about wrap it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully it gave you all a better understanding of, I guess, Warlock things and boss POVs and all that from a Warlock perspective and both of the Incarnates. And like I said, I think a lot of the raid's going to be Destro and Demo based, but there could be a handful of AF fights like Primalist Council and maybe Broodkeeper, excuse me, with the weird like AC Wrath Consumption strategy. Possibly. We'll see where it goes. Locke is not the best overall DPS in the raid. There's a couple of DPS that are just higher than everybody else. That's just a tuning thing that probably just not going to get fixed until after the race, but it is what it is. We're here. I think Locke's in a pretty good spot, though. Probably one of the better range, if not the best range in the raid. Maybe putting aside arcane major things, a couple settings, but yeah. So if you guys have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section. I'll be sure to get back to you. Any week warriors, add-ons, or profiles in the video, links to all that down below. My Twitch and Discord, we can grab them for free. !WA in either, we'll pull it up for you. Before we end the video, I want to give one final shout out to my patrons. Thank you guys a million times for all the support on Patreon. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. If you look at supporting on Patreon, it should be a link up here as well as down below. I leave in like 5 hours for Los Angeles and the Race the World first. I'm very, very excited. This race is going to be a wild one. I think it's going to be a short one, probably. I'm assuming like 7, probably 8 days max. If it goes to reset, it probably dies that reset day. But we'll see. I got some pretty bold predictions, but I'm saving those for the actual event. And we'll see where it goes. I don't want to leak my strats too early. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you all again soon on stream. Peace.